The saddest thing is that like the teachers and like adults in my life were letting it happen. I just don't want to feel not worthy. I'm always feeling I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I shouldn't be where I am. It just brings up so much pain in me that like I just try to like put it all behind. I started to self-harm all the time. There were many times like I really thought like, okay, today I'm just gonna give up.
قبل ما نكمل الحلقة تأكدوا تزورونا على موقعنا hurtful.com بحال بدكم تدعمونا. اشتركوا معنا كرمال تقدروا تحصلوا على حلقات مختصرة وبلاي ليست.
بالإضافة إذا كان عندك عمل تجاري أو بودكاست عبالك تبلشها أو تكبرها، تعرف على جميع خدماتنا من استشارة بودكاست، تسويق رقمي وإنتاج. وآخر شي بطلبوا منكم سبسكرايب on يوتيوب وتابعونا على جميع مواقع التواصل. وهلأ خلينا نكمل الحلقة.
Ladies and gentlemen, she's a pop artist, choreographer, dancer, entrepreneur. Today, we're pleased to have on Higher Take Yasmine Majdi, aka Yas Vocals. Yasmine, welcome to Higher Take.
Thank you guys for having me.
You forgot to mention she's the youngest guest we have.
Exactly, and we're shattering records today because not only is she the youngest guest up to date at Higher Take, we're also recording for the first time in this environment. So shout out Podcast Hub.
I'm honored to be shattering all these records.
How are you, Yas?
I'm good.
Did
How are you?
Yasmine or Jasmine or Yas?
Yes.
خلاص, Yas.
It's easiest, right?
Yeah.
You know, so many people were calling me Jasmine and anything but Yasmine, so I'm like, just Yas. It's easy.
You know, my friend is called Yasmine, but I like Jasmine. But I will call you Yas.
Okay,
Don't worry.
thank you.
Can I call you Yasmine?
Yeah,
like
no
that.
worries.
Okay.
طيب Yasmine, how's everything going with you? I
Good.
mean, Maher gave a pretty good intro about you. You're a dancer, you're a choreographer, you're an entrepreneur, you have your own business, and you're 22.
Yes.
That's, I mean, at 22, I was still I graduated from
You were
uni. That's
working
like,
at
I
22.
started I was just like getting to know life.
Yeah.
So how are you feeling today after, all of these endeavors that you've been through?
I'm good. I don't even know where to start. Honestly, I'm like trying to focus on so many things and do so many things. So I do feel a bit overwhelmed at the moment. At the moment I'm working on, since now like everything is kind of going to slow down and stuff, so I have a bit more time. So I'm working on filming a couple of music videos. I think in the next like 2 weeks I'm going to film 3 music videos to get it all ready for like next year to release and stuff. So yeah, feeling overwhelmed but excited at the same time.
Amazing. And how's the latest song you released? I forgot its name.
I released it in the summer, all night long.
All night long.
It's good. It was my first time doing like a proper music video, like with a production company and everything. Because until now, it was just me and one videographer, and we were kind of like winging everything. Like we got to the location, we're like, okay, like let's shoot this, like not professional at all, so it was really nice to have a proper music video experience. So yeah, it's doing well.
And you said you have 3 upcoming music videos.
Yes.
Can we hear anything?
I mean, my phone is over there, so maybe before we end I will definitely give you a sneak peek. But yeah, one is a solo song that I just recorded over in the summer. And then 2 of the other songs are a collaboration with an Afrobeats artist. So it's my first time doing a collaboration, and he's so amazing. So I'm excited for people to hear it.
You said
Yeah.
like the first video that you shot wasn't that professional because obviously I'm assuming you were hungry. You wanted to start off your career. So you just got in a room and you wanted to shoot. What are like the most important lessons, I would assume, that you've learned from like a very spontaneous shooting that you would take to your next shooting that you were talking about?
That's a really good question. I definitely think like from the first shoot, we didn't come prepared. We kind of, like, as I just said, we came and we were like, okay, so what do we shoot? We just winged it all. So like from this second to the third, like I learned that, you need to come prepared. I started to prepare my own like mood boards at home. Just like listening to the song over and over again. What are the lyrics? What's the message I want to send? Like what scene would look good with, I don't know, this background, that background, just to really prepare. So that's definitely key.
Yeah, definitely it is.
And yeah, just to, like collaborate like with the videographer, go back and forth and just share ideas and try and create the best thing that we can together.
You mentioned it's a difficult industry to penetrate, to grow.
Yeah.
How are you coping? You know, how is it? How can someone enter the music industry? Like, is it as easy as someone, okay, write a song, do a music video, and then, you know, they would rise to fame? Or, and how does it work? That's what because you're going through it right now.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you're young, you have lots of ambition, you have huge goals ahead. So how are you doing it?
Do you want the honest answer? Honestly, it's so difficult, like extremely. Like, I don't think people can fully understand, like, unless you're in it, because I mean, you hear it all the time, but like, what are the chances that you're actually like gonna make it? It's like 0.00 what, like, it's crazy. Like, honestly, like, so many different things like play into like you actually making it, like on an international level, you know, when you think of like Ariana Grande and Beyonce and like people that I aspire to be. So it really is a lot on like your mental. You have to be a very strong person and very just like resilient and stuff. I mean, I am strong, but like there are so many days when I'm just like, not that I want to give up, because like this is my dream, this is everything. I don't have a plan B. It's, you know, I'm giving it my all. It's all or nothing, but it's just very, very hard. And there are days when like I don't believe in myself and I'm like, oh, what am I doing this for? Like, and I feel bad as well, like for my parents, because they have, especially my mom, she literally like dedicated her whole life to helping me and, you know, helping me pursue this. So I do feel very guilty and just like bad, you know, like I feel like I have to make it to, you know, for all of this to make sense and like, you know, just to kind of like give back to them eventually one day, especially like on the financial side. My parents give me everything. Being an independent artist, I'm not signed with a label. I'm independent, which is very, very hard because obviously that means I have to pay for everything myself, music videos, photo shoots. There's a lot that goes into it. My parents do support me a lot financially. Like, my dad hasn't been on holiday since 2012. My mom hasn't been on holiday as well since 2015. Like, all the money we have, we put into my music. So I really do believe that one day I will be able to repay them for everything that they've done.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What a nice story,
Amazing.
honestly. Shout out to your parents.
Of
I
course.
know.
I mean, God
thank
bless your
you.
parents. I mean, they're the most important people,
Yeah.
you know, definitely giving you unconditional support and
Yeah.
love. And that's what you need. I mean, you have to be patient. It's not easy. It's difficult. You learn from one experience to another. And you just need this resiliency.
I think that's the hardest. That's the hardest part, especially like patience. I'm not patient.
You need to be patient. You're young. You're 22.
But in this,
Like, okay, I will look at other people as well and say, okay, but he's younger than me and he's done that. That's the curse of comparison,
yeah.
you know? But I think what people should more look at is progress. If there hasn't been any progress, okay, there's an issue.
Right.
But if you are progressing,
Yeah.
improving, learning from one music video to another, one song to another, growing your connections, growing your network, eventually you will get there. Like, even
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah, exactly. And especially
still
because you're
pushing.
22. Because, it's like a sword with both edges. Like, you're 22, so maybe by 25, which is still considered young, you'll learn
Right.
and you'll connect and you'll network way more than if you started your career at 25.
True.
And plus, I feel like you can mature like spiritually and
Yes.
mentally
Yes,
when you're
yes.
like 24 or 25. And like, I'm 100% sure the future is very bright for you.
Thank
And especially
you.
because you have the go and the green light from your parents. And
Yeah.
they love you and they love what
Yeah.
you do. So like, as they say, if you have what your parents want from you and if you have their love and their acceptance, God will definitely make and pave your way the way you want.
Thank you. Yeah, it's true. I do feel lucky because like not everyone gets support. So
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
definitely a
Inshallah,
blessing.
you'll pay everything back and more.
Yeah, and more.
Just a bit of time. I mean, we hosted many guests.
Okay.
And one thing that we learned from most of them is that you need to be consistent, keep on pushing. And inshallah, like, you're only one reel away, you're only one music video away from that point where you want to reach. But having that strong mentality that you have, this persistence that you have, it must be something that was molded since you were young. You know, it must have been like I want to listen from your childhood, teenage days. Was it difficult? Was it an easy one? Like, just to understand how you have that strong mentality.
In terms of like my strength and stuff and like determination and persistence and all this, I feel like dance definitely did like shape that and like help me, you know, have these qualities, just because it's kind of a thing where you come every single day and you're taking classes for multiple hours in a day. Like it really helps you build, you know, that like focus and discipline and all of that stuff, and like strength. You have to be so strong. Like where dancing, I started ballet when I was 3. You're dancing in point shoes and like your feet are killing you and your feet are bleeding and everything, and like you cannot stop. You have to keep going, you know. So there's a certain level of like hard work and, you know, dedication that I did learn from that. But in terms of childhood, I don't like talking about it. To be honest, I kind of like just um I don't know how to say it, but yeah, I didn't have a good childhood, and I mean, it definitely did teach me a lot of lessons and, you know, life lessons, but yeah, it wasn't a good childhood.
Well, what happened, if you don't mind? If
uh just a lot of like, I don't really have any good memories. The only good memories I have were after school when I would be like in class, like singing class, dancing class, etc. But just my whole life, it actually started in Australia. Like primary school, I did a couple of years there, and I was bullied for being overweight. I wasn't really actually like, you know, unhealthily, you know, fat or anything. Like I was just a little bit chubbier than the rest of the kids, and that kind of started like with bullying. And then when I moved to Dubai, it just continued and got worse and worse and started to become physical as well. And online, it was something that like I could like not escape, because I would be at school all day. Bullying would come there, you know, be there. Then I would come home. I would go online and see all these things written about me every day. It was just like a vicious cycle that like I felt like I cannot escape until I finally left school when I was 15 or 16.
oof. And I mean, I'm sorry you had to go through that. Of course, it's something terrible that happens in schools. Why do you think children and other kids used to do that? I mean, you said it's physical. It's also words hurt. Also, like, I know. Do you have an idea why it used to happen, or?
You know, it's really funny because it actually started with a girl that I met in school. She was a new student, and the teacher asked, like, "Oh, does anyone?" I don't know if even when you guys were in school, like, if there would be a new student, someone would kind of like be their like buddy and like show them around and like, you know, their school and stuff. So I volunteered to help this girl, basically, like to show her around and just help her out. And we became, well, I thought we became close. And all of a sudden, she kind of just started like being with other kids, and they just, honestly, it just started from nowhere, like calling me fat. I don't know if I gained weight at that time or whatever, but it started with that, and they made like a whole group. They even got like older kids involved. At this time, I was like, I don't know, 12, and they were friends with like people in the 10th and 11th grade, so they were a lot older than us, and so even they were bullying me and like intimidating me. I was so scared of them because I was like 12 and they're like 16, 17. But it just basically became this like whole gang of people in school, girls and boys, pushing me around, calling me names all the time, running after me in the halls, like on the field. I just remember I was in the middle of the field and there was like a group of like, I'm not kidding, like 15 people. They were like pushing me around, throwing me on the ground. They would throw me in the bin whenever they wanted to. And it was just terrible. They would make pig noises, like making fun of me when I would walk by. And a lot of stuff, honestly, like I think I pushed like a lot of it back. Like, you do get what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
of course.
because it was traumatizing, honestly. So I like a lot of stuff I don't even remember. But the saddest thing is that like the teachers and like adults in my life were letting it happen.
That's where what I was wondering, like
Yeah.
where were the teachers, where were the people that should supervise the behavior
Yeah.
of the kids?
I know. They were there and they were fully aware, like even
They
in
were fully
class.
aware?
Yes. In class, I would be sitting by myself for lunch. Everybody else had a friend, had a group, whatever. My mom was at the school like all the time talking to the principal. I mean, I was crying all the time. Like everybody knew. Like I'll give you an example. There were two girls, they came up to me and they started like, "Oh my God, you're fat, you're this, you're that," calling me names. I told them to shut up. And I'm the one that got in trouble and they got nothing. They were fine. I'm the one that got in trouble for saying shut up.
Wow.
So like I don't know. They were all fully aware of it and nobody stopped it, which is the saddest part because so many schools they preach like this is a no bullying zone, like zero tolerance, but I figure it's all just words, honestly. So I really hope one day like this will be like we will find, collectively a resolution to like stop it.
I mean, it's the adults should have. I think they have a huge blame in this situation. They must have seen you suffering as well in a way or another. So I'm sure you know that the teachers that were there, the supervisors, they didn't do a good job, or they wanted this to happen purposefully. And this is like I'm happy you raised this and you're talking about it because it is an important subject that could be not discussed enough.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes people tend to assume others' feelings. Maybe the teacher thinks, okay, maybe she's not reacting now in a bad way and she's going home crying, so خلاص, she'll be fine, So it's a collective effort starting from the management to the students, and they should lead by example. So if anyone bullies in the future, they should do like the right and effective measures to this particular student so everyone can learn and they can prevent these bullying acts to happen. But where it gets interesting is, I know obviously you didn't have the best childhood out of all the children, but I wanted to know if these events wouldn't have happened in your life, how much do you think this would have decreased your resilience and strong mental fortitude?
Honestly, I think that if this didn't happen, I would be further in. I'm just gonna bring it like in terms of my career. I think I would be further than where I am now.
Further.
Because although like it did in some ways, build strength and stuff, I feel like the harm that it did was way more than like building strength. You know what I mean? Because like I'm always doubting myself. I'm always putting myself down. I always think that I'm not good enough, or like I'm scared to even speak to people sometimes because I think that everything I say is stupid, or like I don't know, there's just like a lot of like negatives, that it brought, and like still to this day, it's not that like, oh, when I was growing up like I was insecure or whatever, like it's still until now, and I feel like it's going to be with me for the rest of my life if I'm honest. So I feel like, yeah, if this didn't happen I would be further, and I don't know.
But like I feel like you have a chip on your shoulder and that's making you work harder. And okay, by you saying we're not good enough, it's not necessarily a bad statement like we always say. And no, we're not good, still didn't reach our peak, there's something missing. Sometimes this healthy anxiety that someone has makes you want to push more, makes you not satisfied with the result. So, but on the other hand, I'm 100% sure this won't last with you and you're going to reach wherever you want to reach.
I hope so.
That for sure. I mean, definitely this not happening. What should happen? It not happening. The entire bullying part. I do think like you thinking that because of that you're not where you want in your career. Like I believe you just don't see it yet. Like I believe when you are there and you will get there. You will see. Oh, okay, this is how it helped me. again, I do believe you're still young, and I do believe you have.
Thank you. Keep telling me I'm young.
And I keep on saying it again because, like, I'm sure there's a lot that lie in front of you, and bullying is terrible. I mean, you mentioned some pretty horrific stuff. You said that they used to put you in the bin, which is like unfathomable because there was no one that used to see that.
You know what? It was actually in the times because, okay, so basically, you're going to think I'm crazy when I say this, but like when I was in school, because of all of that was happening and mostly people calling me fat, like anytime I had the chance, I would always ask, like, oh, can I go to the bathroom? And I wouldn't go to the bathroom. I would actually like run around the halls like trying to like burn off like calories, or I would go downstairs to the football field and I would start like running outside. Doesn't matter if it's the middle of the day. I would do anything and everything that I could to like burn calories, and I wasn't eating. And so many times I got in trouble with like teachers finding me like just running on the football field. No one's supposed to be there. But my point is that basically like it would be at times when no teachers are around, like everybody's supposed to be in class. All the teachers are in classes. And this, like if one of the students were out at the same time as me and they saw me, it kind of like was happening then when like nobody was watching, that kind of thing. Yeah.
You mentioned that it was happening also on social media as well. They were being aggressive on social media.
Yeah, they would basically make a group chat and on purpose add me to the group chat so I could see everything that they were saying about me, and they were all just saying horrific things. And even in school they would be taking videos of me as like it was happening, like if someone was pushing me around or something was happening to me, they would be taking videos and then posting them on social media again just so I can see. And yeah, it was just like a never ending thing.
There's some fucked up kids, man.
I know.
There's some
I
fucked
know.
up kids.
Honestly.
I know.
I mean, for me, like in school, like there used to be like lots of jokes, messy jokes, but I didn't go through that a lot. But there were times where we used to I used to mess with someone, but like then like I would go hug him. You're my
It's
buddy.
not a
I'm
vicious
just-
cycle. It's
like
not
it's not a
loop.
vicious cycle.
Yeah.
But do you think that in Australia, I don't know, maybe because it's a different environment, different people, but you said it continued here in Dubai as well?
Here in Dubai, it was the worst. It was so
was the
bad.
worst.
It was
Here
the
in
worst
Dubai.
here in Dubai. In Australia, it was only. It
I
was
really want to know the name of the school, but I don't know if we should say it or not. And like, go tell them you guys did a shitty job.
in Australia. It was like 2 years. I was like 6, 7, But it was when I was here is when it like really became like very serious, and it was it was very very bad.
How did your parents get involved? Did they?
As I said, like I was at home, I was crying with my mom because my dad was always working. So I was with my mom. She was just with me trying to support me in the way, that she could. But she was at the school all the time. My dad, whenever he could, he came, he was yelling at the teachers, like, what are you doing? How are you letting this happen? I don't know what was going through like the school's head, the teachers, the principal, like nobody cared really.
I wish your mom was here, by the way.
Yeah.
We would have gotten her right here and
Oh my
asked her literally,
God.
like,
Yeah,
what happened
what?
during
I know.
that
But the
phase?
funniest thing is now, when I lost weight, all these people they want to talk to me. Now I'm good enough for them to say hello to me, and for them to
now
look
I'm
at
sure
me.
they want to be your
Yeah.
friends after what you've been doing, all
Yeah.
of the hard work. Now they don't just want to talk to you. They want to be your close friend.
Exactly. Typical
sure.
idiots.
Bestie.
They want to be your besties right now.
Yeah.
But you can tell them to go.
But exactly.
Yeah.
Always ask yourself, why do they want to be friends now with me? Of course, you won't be friends with them, but why? What do they see in you? Do they see a potential star? Do they want to network with you because you're going to make it? So sometimes when you ask yourself these questions, why were the people that once bullied me and wanted the worst and worst for me now want to be around me? What did I do differently? So that ties back to the reason you were saying, I feel like I will always live with it, or I'm not sure if I'm going to make it. Like, it's at the end a puzzle. And if you try to like mix and match the puzzle, you'll feel like maybe differently a bit about the situation.
Yeah.
I like that
Yes,
perspective.
I know it was a difficult time, but what was the lowest during this time? Like, how far did it go on a mental level, even person on a physical level as well?
I think like the lowest, like obviously it's hurtful to be called fat, whatever, but it's when they would kind of like tell me to die like all the time and that nobody loves me, I don't deserve to be on this earth, and like I was so young, so like obviously like hearing that all the time, like I did believe it, and like I started to self-harm all the time, and I just there were many times like I really thought like okay, today I'm just gonna
Mm.
give up, and yeah.
It's definitely difficult, especially on kids, especially on teenagers. I mean, plays with your head, and especially that they're telling you, but that they're telling you these awful, awful things. Thankfully, thank God, you overcame it. It's important to raise as much awareness as possible. You kept going. You kept going through the difficulties, through, and what kept you going? I think that has something to do with dancing, potentially.
Yeah, for sure. It was dance and it was my mom. I think those two things. Without the support of my mom, I definitely don't know, like I don't know what I would do. And the dancing definitely helped. I had, I don't know, 4 hours, after school to kind of just forget about it and just focus on myself and do what I love so much. So that definitely did play a big part.
Man, I
Yeah.
cannot imagine you fat. She's like, even if someone هيدا بس انه
And so what,
I
And
was just gonna
so what?
say, like, so what? It doesn't
طب
change.
until today it has an impact on you, but how are you managing it? Because lots of people also potentially went through the same thing. Maybe it would help them to know how are you managing it these days after, when did it stop, first of all? I hope it
It's
stopped.
oh yeah, it stopped. It was when I was 16. It just got so unbearable, and like my parents were honestly very scared for me, and like we just didn't see anything helping. It was not gonna stop after all these tries, so they put me to homeschooling. So basically, I had school like 3 hours a day. And so, like, from 9 a.m. till 12. And then I had the whole day to just focus on music and dance and training and all of that. So that's when it stopped. Yeah.
Okay, so it stopped then, but it still has a toll on you up until
Yes.
this day.
Yes.
And how are you managing it? How are you, I don't think you forget anything,
Mm-mm.
but sometimes someone needs to let go, of it could be someone that died in their life, a relationship that broke up, it didn't work out. I mean, obviously, potentially bullying is much more terrible, but how are you able to move on, heal, and become better? You're still impacted a bit, so how are you continuing to heal?
Well, to be honest, I feel like I'm still very impacted just because I I never really got the chance to, like, I went to, I don't know, like, 2 therapy sessions. But the issue is that every session it's like between 600 to 800 dirhams, so it just was not sustainable at all. Like I would do a session, but then like we've always struggled with money growing up. Like financial difficulties have always been a thing, so it just wasn't sustainable for me. So I had to find different ways to cope, which was through music and through dance. The first song that I ever recorded was called Insecure, and that was kind of my attempt to like let everything go and like let everything out into a song. It was definitely helpful, but like it still wasn't enough for me to like fully, let go of everything. But I'm still happy that I did that song because every time I listen to it, I kind of like remember that I have come a long way since then. So it's just nice to have that reminder. But yeah, just through music and through dance and focusing on myself, my career, and not just on myself, but also how I can impact others is very important to me. I want to inspire, like, a lot of my audience is between like 12 to like 16, 17, so in their early teens, and I can imagine a lot of them are going through what I went through, so I want to give them something, some kind of hope, some kind of inspiration, something to help them, through music, through dance.
Yes, I
Yeah.
mean, other than your career,
Yes.
what do you do in your free time?
There's no free time.
There's no free time. Exactly.
No, I'm not laughing because of that, but because like if I'm not teaching or if I'm not, working on a new song or something, then like I'm learning myself. Like I'm taking a vocal lesson, I'm taking a dance lesson. Like it's what I'm always doing. So if there's like free time from that, it's just I don't know. I like to go to the mall with my mom and just like go for coffee and talk and cinema. I love going to the cinema.
I love movies.
Because I feel like when someone's always busy, or at least intentionally trying to be always busy
Yeah.
for the better good,
Yeah.
sometimes a person doesn't have like the time potentially to reflect on what has been happening in his life. How does he want to improve it? Where does he stand? Where is he doing? What is he doing? Like, like how
Right, to reflect, yeah.
exactly. So I was just wondering, if you're always busy, do you ever like think, or does these thoughts of like reflection and growing up ever hit you?
Now that I think about it, no, I don't really like, because as I said, I don't want to think about it. You get what I mean? Like, because it just brings up so much pain in me that like I just try to like put it all behind and like not think about it. But I guess that is wrong, and I should, as you said, like reflect and try to learn how to heal from it and stuff. I'm gonna take that. This is what I take away from this episode, is that I need to do that. Yeah.
That would definitely, talking with someone is important.
Yeah.
I've spoken to therapists before. They help. Some of them are very expensive. What I do is just try to talk with some therapists in Lebanon.
Okay. Okay.
I'll give you some recommendations.
Yes, please.
It's definitely better, because I recommend therapists.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Me especially, I feel like
Psychologists.
100%. I feel
Right.
like 50% of the trauma like gets dissolved once you get it out of your system. Because khalas, you're talking, like the thoughts are embedded in your head. Once you talk, like when you do our sessions, like once you talk khalas, the problem is within you. So you don't have clear visibility on it. But once you talk and get them out of your system,
Yeah.
khalas, they're in front of you now. You control
Right.
them. It's
Yeah.
not something not in your surrounding that you can't see.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I think is the best solution.
Thank you.
How do you feel you want, يعني, personally, on a mental level?
Yeah.
What do you want to reach, and to say to tell yourself I healed from this?
I just don't want to feel not worthy anymore. Like I'm always feeling that like I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough. I shouldn't be where I am, like I don't deserve it. And just I don't know. Difficult question. I mean, I don't know when I will feel like truly healed. I guess like my mind is always having so many like negative thoughts, like in terms of myself. Like I don't think this way about other people, I would never. I'm not really like judgmental towards other people, only to myself, and I just want that to kind of like stop, because I know that it is stopping me in so many ways in my life.
I would recommend exercising, but you dance a lot, so like I don't think that.
That's a lot. I love it.
Yeah.
Bess, you said something very, 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 very important. It's your thoughts. You criticize yourself a lot. You compare yourself a lot, and I'm
Yeah.
sure it's because of all the experience, the very bad experience you went through. I think the thoughts is what anyone
Yeah.
needs to control. To have very healthy mental state.
Mhm.
It's the thoughts, but it's a practice. It's for me, that at least that's how I see it. Like I know many times I went through a very rough period as well, where always I was doubting myself, and always I was criticizing, why did I do this, why did I do that. But with time I continue to think okay? It's fine. What you went through is a lesson. What you went through will help you. What you went through will be pushed away with the success that I'm gonna have.
Mm.
So that's just a practice that I have and I try to implement in life.
Yeah.
لا أكيد.
Because thoughts are everything.
True.
Like you're mostly with your own thoughts.
Mm.
Yeah, and especially before you sleep. Sometimes.
That's the worst. That's the worst time. That's why I have trouble sleeping. Like I think I sleep 2 hours in a day. It's because like that's when
2 hours. And during
no,
the day.
really, no, not in a like overnight. I
Overnight,
mean,
you sleep
yeah,
2 hours? No, you have to sleep more.
Deep sleep 2 hours and the rest.
La,
you're like,
bro, she's saying she sleeps 2 hours.
it's really bad. I don't know if I should be saying this,
No,
but
no,
like
say it,
sometimes
say
I
it.
have to just take like
Xanax.
2 Panadol nights and to
cool,
actually
Panadol
sleep.
nights is fine.
No, I know, but it's like every day and then it stops working for me. And it's really difficult because like I need energy, you know, and that comes with sleep and I'm just not able to sleep because my mind is like thinking about so many things and it's always at night when I'm like, oh, I have this idea for this video or oh, I wanted to do a song about this or oh, like an idea comes for choreography or just anything and everything but, you know, calming down and sleeping. So, yeah.
do you feel if you raise awareness about bullying or you do something that will prevent potentially people from getting bullied, will this make you happier as a person?
It would make me so happy. You know, honestly, I was like in the beginning of the year thinking about, I don't know if like it would be possible. I would have to find out, but I wanted to do like going to different schools in like throughout the UAE and just like raising awareness, talking about it. I wanted to sing my song Insecure as well, like to kind of like tie in with that and just like talk to these kids and like, you know, I don't know. It's something that I wanted to do and I definitely need to find out like if it's possible to do, but it would obviously make me so happy because it just, I hate seeing like, you know, young kids going through this and struggling because I know how it feels. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And the song, I tried to search it, but I can't find it.
Sorry. I took it off like all platforms, I don't know, 2 years ago. I was 16 when I recorded that song. And I wrote the song with Andrew Lane in LA. And I just think I was very new to like everything, to recording. It was my first time recording and in the studio. And it was very difficult for me to record this song. Like I was crying in the studio because like all the emotions were coming back. And I as well, I think I felt really intimidated because I was with Andrew Lane, who recorded like everything from Hannah Montana, High School Musical, Backstreet Boys, Toni Braxton. Like he has so many credits. And again, I felt like I wasn't good enough. And like, why am I in this room with like such a legend, you know, in the music industry? So I don't think I gave my best performance vocally. And again, going back to like, I'm so hard on myself and I never think anything is good enough. So I took down the song, but I'm working on it actually now currently, re-recording the vocals and maybe changing a few of the lyrics a bit. But yeah, next year I'm gonna re-release it.
Release it. Wow.
Yeah.
It would be a good storyline. Exactly.
Yeah.
Remix.
Yeah.
New version of it. I would love to hear it. Maybe
sure.
I go to the school that you're gonna attend to and listen to you sing the song. But now, how's you know your relationship with friends, loved ones? I know you're very busy. Do you make time for an intimate relationship? Do you have time for these type of stuff, or you really don't think about that right now?
I mean, it's not that I don't think about it. Definitely, like when, for example, when I opened my studio, I did not have time. Like my whole day was kind of consumed with it because, first of all, like a new business, I was 18. It was so overwhelming. I was teaching as well, like 2-3 classes a day. So like there's so much that goes into that. You need to choreograph like 3 different routines and that's just for one day. And then this is like every day, plus working on my own personal stuff, social media, so much. So I wasn't really thinking about that at that time, but I got hurt a lot like in the studio with my own students. I didn't see them as students. I saw them as friends and I trusted people like way too easily, and I was really badly betrayed, to be honest. And I don't know, I have a hard time trusting people as well, like going back, like everything that I went through, it makes it really difficult to trust people. So to be honest, I don't really have any friends. I don't really socialize unless it's like going to events and stuff here and there. I mainly just keep to myself, focus on my career, focus on what I'm trying to achieve. Do have friends. It's honestly on social media, like people that are supporting me from different countries. Um, and we, talk back and forth. When I go to LA, I feel like I have friends in LA, like true friends. We really connect because we have the same interests, music, dancing. I feel like that's really important. A lot of people here, when I'm, meeting new people, or just even like in school, a lot of people didn't understand that what I'm trying to achieve. And they didn't really understand that I would rather go and take class instead of go to a party. For them, it was just all about like having fun, whereas I wasn't like that. So when I'm in LA, finding like-minded people is really amazing. And I wish I was there more often to be with them. But yeah, it's
Inshallah.
okay.
I mean, you have great stuff going on here as well.
And again, you're
Yeah.
still young.
Um, you mentioned you were betrayed. How were you betrayed in the studio?
Oh, so many stories that I could tell you, honestly. So many things happened, but I can't really go into it too much. But yeah, I was just really badly betrayed by people that I was really giving my everything to, not just on like a friendship level, but even in class. I really helped them grow as dancers and as people as well. Like, so many people would come to the studio with similar problems to me, whether it's like teenage girls going through bullying or just people in general. Everyone has problems, everyday problems, and they would come to the studio and would be really angry or whatever, hurt, and they would end up leaving feeling so happy and motivated, inspired and stuff. So like the studio and me as a teacher, like we did play a big part in these people's lives, and it was really sad for me to see when what happened and what they did and how easy it was for them to just betray. I feel like people forget so quickly what you did for them. When you do something good, a lot of people, they forget really easily. I don't know why.
That's why it's always better, in my opinion, for people that you don't fully trust, not to put expectations on them.
Yeah, true.
That's something I learned. Like if I don't fully trust that person, I don't expect, like even if I do something for him from the kindness of my heart, I don't expect shit in return. I don't even expect them to be grateful.
Sometimes it's hard though, because
It is
you
hard.
know yourself that like you would be grateful. You wouldn't do this to somebody else, so then you kind of like
You have a kind heart.
expect
You
the
have a
same.
kind heart. Not all people have a kind heart. People are selfish.
Yeah.
They want their own self-interest. They want to use people to get where they want to get.
Yeah.
Like, you can't trust everyone.
No, exactly. And in this specific case, I feel like sometimes or all the time, evil outweighs good, because even it can translate on social media. Like sometimes you receive 50 good comments, you don't feel a thing. But once you receive an evil comment, it's like, why?
That hurts you,
what's
yeah.
happening? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got to get rid of evil.
Yeah, for sure. But you mentioned the studio. You're
Yeah.
still working on the studio. How's it going? We hope it's kicking off.
We had a bit of a break,
Mm.
just like after COVID and stuff. COVID really like hurt us, especially in our industry, because it's all about like people being with each other and everything, literally. And as well, our concept was bringing celebrity choreographers and musicians from LA. So that was so difficult, obviously, like impossible, because like earring felt. No flights, like none of it was possible. So it really did hurt us. So we've had a little bit of a break, but then it was just me teaching, because before it was me plus 3 teachers from LA, which was amazing. Then all the responsibility fell on me, which was so stressful. So it was just me for a bit. And now we're working on really bringing things back for 2024 next year. Oh my God. Yeah, for 2024, we are working on bringing things back. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Then inshallah it'll kick off again. So currently you're giving classes to students, right? Dancing
At the
classes?
moment, no.
At the
At the
no.
moment, no. I'm just having a little bit of a break. Especially this year, I was really trying to focus more on music. Before, it was a little bit too much to do everything at like
You're doing a lot.
a good level.
Choreography, dancing, singing. Like each one of them, if you wanna perfect it and become like it's difficult.
Yeah,
It's
for
time
sure.
consuming to improve dancing and singing.
Yeah.
And
So
that,
how would you introduce yourself? I know she does all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, what comes number 1, number 2, number 3?
multi-talented
I'd
artist.
say
Combination.
I don't know. For me, my number one is singing. So I would say
Okay.
pop artists is like first thing. And then second, like dance. I've been doing it since I was 3. So it's like a part of me. It's always been a part of me and always will be. But it's not my main thing. It kind of just like adds to the singing, you know. If you want to be on stage, you can dance and sing at the same time. Yeah, it just adds to it, the whole like performance.
So you have beautiful choreographies. I've seen your videos.
Thank you.
On Jad, you can like you're taken away with the entire choreography of the song. It blends with the song. It blends very well.
Really, thank you.
But that's also like multi-talented artist
Thank you.
for sure.
Now you guys need to come for a dance class.
Yalla.
أنا
We'll align it. We'll align it.
Oh my God.
like the dancing.
Walid is a very good dancer.
Yeah,
But
you
he's
should-
not
Really?
vocal about
Yeah,
it.
you should see me at the club. you,
Unorthodox dancing. Not the...
you should come see my moves.
Oh my
But-
God.
But listen, like
Yeah.
we've covered quite a bit regarding the bullying, how you're overcoming it. You're using dancing. Right now, you're focusing on your music videos.
Yeah.
You know that you want to release next year, hopefully 3 new music videos. I think that's more reason to be optimistic. It like and hoping next year will be a better year. Inshallah, it cannot get worse.
Cannot get worse.
2023.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what it is, right?
Why
It can-
it wasn't a good year for you guys?
No, it was for me a decent year, to be honest. But in light of recent events, that that's a bit of a shame, and lots
I
of
know.
stress, back home in Lebanon about
know.
the. Let's
I-
hope nothing
I can't imagine.
major happens. I mean,
I
yeah,
know.
it's really a shame trying to what's happening between Israel and Palestine.
know.
Akid, it's we're hoping we're praying for the best of the people of Palestine, and definitely we're making that, by the way, an episode about that. But the focus, of course, on you. To focus on you, I'd like to understand, the thought process of you developing a song. I think you mentioned a bit in the beginning, like you structure a lot, you're more organized. That's
Yeah.
something that you learned from the question of Matt. But how does it work? If someone wants to really release, a song, they want to write a song, then release it. How does it work?
I feel every person, every artist has like a different process. For me, I'm always thinking and it depends like what I'm going through currently, like in my life, or even see, this is when I do reflect back on the past, and when I am thinking of like song ideas and stuff, I feel like that's probably the only time when I'm like really reflecting on like what's happened. But all of my songs are about what I've been through or what I'm currently going through. I stand by this 100%. I don't want to be one of those people that just sings any song because it's a great song. Like I feel that if the song that you're singing is personal to you and you have some kind of emotional like connection to it, the audience is going to feel that through your vocals and through the song in general, and that way they can connect to the song more, connect to you more, instead of you just singing a random song. So yeah, all of my songs are personal, and I mean, it's different every time. Sometimes I will hear a beat, think, okay, this topic would go really well with this beat, and then start from there. Or I have an idea and I talk to the producer that I work with, and we just discuss like for a few hours, honestly, on the phone, and just, give ideas back and forth.
How do you write the music? Like, so you just think about you resonate about what happened with you, personal moments, and that's how you start writing the lyrics.
Well, for Insecure, I wrote the full thing. With a few of the other songs, I wasn't too involved with the idea and the topic and everything was mine. Like, I gave my full story, what some specific words that I want to be in the song, the overall like tone and theme of the song, but I wasn't there in the writing process. Now with this Afrobeats artist, I have been getting more experience with writing. Again, it's kind of like something that with my self-doubt, I was like, oh, like, I'm not good enough. Like, I cannot write a song. I cannot do this. Like, again, just like self-sabotaging myself. So I was always kind of scared to like give it a full like try, But the past like 2 months, I've definitely been trying more and just trying to like let go and not have such like high expectations and not to put so much pressure on myself. I feel like that's what I do all the time. I put so much pressure on myself to be perfect, but I don't know. What do you think? Do you think perfection exists?
No, perfection is
No.
very bad. For
Right?
me, yeah, perfection is
No, I don't feel it exists.
No one-
Progression over perfection.
progression
Yeah.
over perfection. Just
Exactly.
start off.
But let's be aligned.
Okay.
I don't want you to say I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're
Can
more
you do
than-
one thing? Can
Yes.
you say I'm enough?
I'm
Just
enough.
Say I'm good enough.
You're more than enough. We're all like,
Say I'm good enough.
I'm good enough.
When was the last time you said it?
I don't know.
Maybe you've never said it. But that's the power of words. When you rewire your mind and you always say it, خلاص, you manifest it, you become it. So
Yeah.
we don't want any guest that we have on the show to think that they're not good enough. The whole purpose is for you to feel, and as Walid mentioned, more than good enough, so you can transfer this message, because I'm sure you're going to have this audience, these people that will look at you and they will say, okay, if I want to idolize Yasmine or I want to be like her, the minimum I should know is that she feels that she's good enough.
Yeah.
So are we aligned?
Yes,
we're
we are
100%,
aligned.
bro.
Only for you.
لا, Yas is amazing. She's definitely killing
That's
it.
why I
bro.
want her to
Thank
be more
you.
vocal about it.
I'm sure she knows it, but you have to reinforce it yourself with
Exactly.
words. You like everyone needs to reinforce themselves. والله أنا sometimes I look in the mirror and say, what a guy. And عادي you see, like
Exactly.
you see, like you have to have this. والله إنه
Yeah.
if you're not giving confidence to yourself,
Then who will? Yeah.
like no one's gonna give you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if I'm going through if I'm going through hard times, I tell myself it's fine. You will get through this, and you
Yeah.
will become better. I know thoughts. It's just in
No,
your
no,
head.
Exactly. Even like, for example, if you had to fight 25 people, the delusional confidence of saying I will win will give you more probability of at least beating up 2 of these 25 people than saying it's
Exactly.
an automatic loss to enter without like hitting at least 1 or 2%. So sometimes delusional confidence is healthy as long as you're putting in the work, as long as you're executing. Not delusional confidence, I want to make $10 million and sit at home
And
doing
do nothing. Exactly. Yeah.
So that's the fine line between both.
It's the hard work.
comparisons. Exactly.
I mean, you have everything. You have the looks, you have the hard work, you have the talent.
Okay, guys, stop.
فخلاص.
Now she's gonna look
I'm
at the mirror and say, "What a girl!"
what a girl. What a
I was
girl.
just gonna say
Exactly. Best. Let's think of something positive. Tell us a happy moment, a proud moment you had in your life.
Let's
like
switch gears.
Yes.
don't tell me there's not. There should be some happy memory.
No, I definitely, I think, first of all, opening the studio when I was 18 is something that I'm very proud of. It was not easy in the slightest. So many challenges that I had to overcome, and I had to like learn really quickly. So that would be one thing. Another thing, I had a really good year being on like 4 different billboards for different brands across the whole UAE, which is something I never thought would ever happen like in a million years. So that was definitely a very proud moment. I would say those two. But honestly, even just like going to, it might seem small to somebody else, but going to LA by myself for 3 years, not knowing for 3 years, for 3 months at a time, not knowing anyone there like in the beginning, and just really trying to figure out everything on my own, especially coming from Dubai. Like LA is not Dubai. It's like the wild, wild west there. Like you have to be so like on it and street smart, and it's crazy. So just doing all of that by myself, and not giving up on myself. I'm always trying to meet people in the industry, go to like different producers and be like, okay, like I don't have money, but like I can sing for you, record demos, like I can do whatever you want for me. Just please help me. Like doing all of this takes a lot of courage, I guess. And yeah,
Lots.
that's something that I'm proud of for sure.
Bravo. I love it. Wallah,
Yes.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
Thank you.
Courage. It requires lots of courage. It requires you putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
And from someone who went through all of these experiences to someone putting themselves out there, it's super. Be super proud of that.
Thank
Anna,
you.
sometimes I have problems putting myself out there, and I tell myself in the mirror,
What a guy.
But and I wanted to ask you a question. What
Yes.
does love mean to you?
Love is, for me, very strong, powerful word. I think a lot of people throw it around so many times. Like they just say to anybody and everybody, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you. But for me, it's a word that I really use wisely. And when I genuinely mean it, I love somebody, I will tell them. And not that like growing up, I didn't get a lot of love. Like my mom gave me more than enough, but just because of school and all of this, and them always telling me like die, you're not loved, like, but all this stuff, like it did, like I didn't feel a lot of love in that sense. So I'm always trying to give that to people that like I love. I'm always trying to like assure them and always say like I love you, and show them that I love them in different ways. But yeah, I think it's a word that shouldn't be, thrown around so easily as people do.
Yeah,
I don't
for
know.
sure. And after what you've been through, like I'm sure it has a very strong meaning. And to really know love, you need to know the other side as well. But if there's something right now that you can say to your, 12-year-old self, although it's not that long ago, يعني. But
I thought you were gonna say 18-year-old.
لا, let's say 14 years. بس انه what would you tell your younger Yas, right now after what you have achieved, inshallah what you will achieve later on as well? What would you tell her?
I would tell her to not to give up. I don't want it to sound cheesy, but just in the moment, I would say don't give up, because like things will get better. Because at that moment in time, I just felt like it's never going to end. It's never going to get better. Yeah, obviously things did get better. So that's what I would say. Don't give up on yourself. Keep going, because there will be better days. And to be kind to people around me, because I don't know, sometimes I wouldn't, I would come home and after like a really terrible day, sometimes maybe I would take it out on my mom, not be the nicest, even though it's not her fault. Yeah, I would just say be kind and just, yeah, things will get better.
Kill them with kindness.
Kill them with kindness, exactly.
And I love this topic that we talked about. It's really important, and I think you have a bright future
Thank
ahead
you.
for sure.
I love your shirt. Sorry to interrupt. I was just reading it. We will be victorious.
We all will
I feel like it goes with what we're talking
Goes with
about
the theme,
today.
right?
That's what I'm saying.
We
I
will
love
be
your
victorious.
shirt. Yeah.
all of us in this room,
But,
inshallah.
Yes.
definitely, as Walid mentioned, you're still young. We're looking forward. to
Thank
what
you.
I'm
you're
looking
gonna
forward for the
achieve.
the releases and the invites to the
Yes,
concerts when
thank
you have
you.
concerts.
Thank you.
It's good لأنه عن جد maybe 2 years down the line, 5 years, 10 years, we're gonna watch this and we're gonna see how things have evolved. I'm 100% sure it's gonna be for the positive. And at the end, that's the purpose. Like help each other, self-talk positively,
Yeah.
and be the best.
I saw that face. I just said you're gonna have concerts, and you're like,
No. I mean, like, I hope. I really hope
you know,
because
John Ashar. He came to one of our guests. I don't know if you know him. He's a very
Comedian.
successful comedian in Lebanon. He said something very, very important for him to achieve what he achieved. He used the power of visualization, very, very detailed visualization. Like visualize yourself on stage performing in front of hundred thousands of people,
See it and feel it.
see every
Right.
detail. Think what you're gonna be wearing. Think of the crowd who's gonna be there.
Yeah.
Like go into detail. That also helps. That also helps.
I
a
will
lot.
try. I mean, I've done meditation a few times, but because my brain doesn't stop, I find it really difficult.
It's a process, especially changing your thoughts,
Yeah.
changing the way you think. It's a process.
Exactly.
But you need to keep on working on it every day. You will not see the change in a week, or
Right.
nor in a day, nor in a month.
Yeah.
You might see it after a year,
Okay.
might, but you
Might.
gotta keep on. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
might.
exactly what we said. It's not about perfecting it. It's about the small wins, the progression, the atomic habits that we build.
Oh, the
day by
Atomic
day.
Habits.
Ah,
The book. You read the book?
Yeah.
What a guy.
Exactly, you know?
What a guy. Oh my
So
god.
that's the new thing. I'm
That
gonna
is
tell him.
I'm gonna
Oh
think
my
about this all the
God,
time
ya
and
Allah,
laugh.
what a guy. What a guy. But yes, Anna, I think I mentioned everything I want to talk about. I don't know if Maher wants to.
Yeah, no,
That's
as
enough
long
for
as
us.
she's always positive, as long as she radiates positive self-talk, I think I'm done.
Thank you. I
course.
definitely will take this away from
I want
that.
you also
I'm glad.
to give a last message, maybe looking at this camera, at anyone that went through the same thing. What would you advise them if they're going through the same issues you went through? So what message would you give them, anyone that's listening?
If someone is going through a difficult time or anything similar to what I went through, what I would say is don't let them, or don't let the difficult situation kill your spirit. Try to channel all of your emotion and whatever you're going through into something positive. So whether that's working on yourself, bettering yourself through whatever it may be, music, art, dance, just through something positive that can hopefully one day inspire others. I think you should do that. And just, don't let them kill your spirit. Don't let them make you into a bitter or, negative person. Always be kind to everyone. And I hope that whatever you're going through will be over soon and you'll come out stronger. And always have a higher take.
Amazing.
And
Thank
one more
you. Yas.
thing.
And one more thing.
And one more thing.
Make sure to subscribe to all of our platforms
for
and
sure.
press the like button. We're live every day on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube,
For sure.
Audio.
Podio.
What else do we have?
Podio خلاص بزيادة.
So make sure to check them out and
And comment.
And
Comment,
thank you,
yeah.
of course. And,
Yes.
and share. And
And
share.
share. Just do it all.
yes,
Thank
we
you.
still forget to this day.
Yeah.
Thank you, Yas.
Thank
Wallah,
you.
thank you
I'm
so
honored.
much.
Thank you guys for having me so
Thank
much.
you.